रश्मि की कहानी यूं दिलों में उतर जाती है। रश्मि की कहानी यूं दिलों में उतर जाती है। हर दर्द को शक्ति में बदलना सिखा जाती है। जो सफर जो सफर तुमने जिया है वो बस कहानी है। लोगों की रूह तक जाकर उन्हें जीना सिखा जाती है। लेट्स वेलकम रश्मि।
Lakshmi aayi hai. All my relatives shouted with joy and excitement at my birth. Born on the auspicious day of Kartik Purnima in the city of dreams, Mumbai, I completed the life of my parents after they had lost my elder brother in an unfortunate incident. Due to some betrayals over the property, and my father was left with no money and having three more younger sisters to be raised behind me. We were financially broken and we were left in the situation of hand to mouth. Every single day growing up, it was a battlefield filled with struggles, scarcity, with torn clothes, and a very little food on the table. But I was still living a dreamy life with my sisters, having a beautiful space filled with fun, laughter. We used to sing, dance, play games, a world full of innocence and joy. But destiny had a very different plan for me. My world was shattered when I was physically molested. Can you even imagine happening to you and no one believes it to be true? And when I spoke to my parents, no one believed it to be true. I was numb. Resentment was growing quietly within me, and alongside, I was constantly criticized and body shamed over my height, my skin color, even the way I could carry myself. लोग बोलते थे इतनी थाड़ जैसी लंबी है, इसको लड़का कैसे मिलेगा शादी करने के लिए. I was also born in a society where girl was considered nothing less than a burden. I was being told to be looked perfect, and the future I could only carry is to be a daughter-in-law, a good wife, and my place is only in kitchen. But I would just ask all those females out there, does it resonate with you that whatever has been happening, is this only me or else some of you also has gone through it? Please raise your hand if you have gone through such kind of situation. Thank you so much. Thank you for your response. I was considered ugly and unworthy, and I couldn't accept myself at all. But when I started pursuing my higher education, it was so funny to see boys chasing me, and I was getting so many proposals for relationships and friendships. Also, I got the offer for modeling. This entirely changed my perspective. And also, I met with my husband, who not only made me feel beautiful, but also loved me deeply. But there was a point again which came where entire world was collapsing. I faced intense politics with no promotion for 8 long years. I was working in the same position. My relationship was getting deteriorated and I was constantly under stress. With a sudden loss of my father in law, it really shook me deeply. And on top of that, I also met with an accident which injured both of my knees ligament, and I was been bedridden for 3 entire months. And that was not enough. I went through a cyber theft which stole all my savings. I was broken physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, also financially. I didn't have anything. But in those dark moments, I asked myself, Rashmi, this is how you want to live your life. A small but yet a very strong voice whispered, no, don't give up, Rashmi. You're born for something big and great. Believe in yourself. And you know what? I was looking for the answers like a curious child. I went through immense transformational journey, seeking out through global coaches, mentors, spiritual masters, and leadership experts. I ripped open all my wounds and did my inner child healing. I rewired my mind through mindset mastery and neurolinking programs. I learned to lead not just into this world, but within myself. And I express my wholehearted gratitude to all my dear mentors, Dr. Meghna Dikshit, who is just like my second mother, my dear friend Tosif Hassan, who made me speak and voice out, and Ron Malhotra, who made me believe in myself. In one of the offline coaching program, I remember one of the assistant coaches came to me and said, while I was still going through my healing journey, he said, Rashmi, there is a lot of work to be done on you. I just listened to him. I took that advice. Instead of letting my ego overpower him, I reflected and I worked on myself. Within less than 4 months, the same coach awarded me the most enthusiastic player of the day in another offline event. So, growth speaks for itself when you commit to your inner work. And also, I'm grateful to share some of my other milestones. After 8 long years, finally I got promoted on the global front as Assistant Vice President with a substantial increase in the salary. I delivered my first ever speech in front of 200 people, and I was really appreciated for that. I also created a very powerful traction on LinkedIn journey. And most of my friends don't know about this, but I was also been shortlisted as one of the finalists for Mrs. World International pageant. So this is what happens when you decide to rise, heal, and to lead yourself. And all this has been possible because of two people, the two main important people in my life, my parents. Despite facing societal pressures of raising four daughters, despite financial struggles, despite the betrayals from their own family, my parents stood strong. They chose courage over conformity and gave us all the gift of the higher education and to believe in ourselves. Today, we all four of us are highly educated and we're working in the top notch MNCs in the managerial positions. I fell, but I rose and I learned to lead myself. And I believe that every circumstance in your life is there to teach something, provided you learn from it. All of that happened to me, made me cry at that moment. But when I look back, I say to myself, great, it happened to me. Why? I found myself. I learned to love myself. And I turned to be a woman whose voice cannot be silenced anymore. And the woman who turned her pain into purpose. This has ignited me to work on a program that is a self doubt to self leadership, where this is not just a coaching program, but a movement where the people who had lost their self esteem, confidence, and who had doubted themselves to become the great leaders. Last but not the least, I want to share a message from one woman to another and to all those men also who are in this situation. Do not suppress yourself. Do not tolerate negligence. You're not to be born to shrink under any circumstances or any events. You're born here to rise and shine your own light. Choose yourself every single day, every single moment. Accept yourself and love yourself fully. Because the moment you choose yourself, you honor yourself, the world will honor you. As Carl Jung says in one of my favorite quotes, I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. Thank you so much.